All right. Welcome to another edition of the ShakeUp After Dark. I'm Alex the Great.
I'm Tiff Linnell.
Hey, and Greg's here.
I forgot you sing your name all the time. Tiff Linnell. All right.
You know me.
It's time for another edition for us to get ratchet. Greg, so glad you could join us today.
I'm happy to be here.
I need to be here today. And I mean, I was in full effect on Monday, kind of not until the last half of the show. But today we got a lot to talk about. So I'm really kind of
Is
excited
that
to
your
get
thought
into this.
juice?
It is.
I was just about to say the same thing.
It's not the small one either. It's like
I see.
when I tell you that I'm gonna sleep good, though, you already know it's about to go down. All right, so lots of stuff that we're gonna hit this week. I mean, obviously, the entire reason that we do this show. So, if this is your first time watching the Shake Up After Dark, what's up to you? If you're watching it on the replay, shout out to you. If you're listening on Boss FM, shout out to you. And if you're listening on like a podcast, Boss FM, the Tick, wherever you're listening, it went everywhere fast. We did that. That said, the entire reason that we do this is because there's certain things that you can't say in the daylight. There's certain things that you shouldn't say in the daylight, and then there's certain things that happen all day long. And especially for me, like I used to get off the air every day at 10 o'clock, and then some bullshit would happen at 10:05, and I used to be so mad.
Every day.
Yeah, and I can think of like there's some significant things that happened like right when we got off the air. I remember this one time, like when Bobby Christina was found in the bathtub, we had all just left the studio and we're all at a stoplight, my entire cast, and we're all talking out the window to each other. Like, why did this happen right now? That sounded just so insensitive that.
I knew what you meant, though.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
that didn't go over well. All right, anyway, there's lots of stuff that went on today. Let me just go ahead and switch gears a little bit. So, I don't even know where to start, man. Donald Trump, bro, fuck you. That's the first thing that I have to say. You're a bitch. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. Now, yeah, that's one way to start. Oh, hey, mom. I don't know if she's listening, but she probably is. I mean, he's all right,
the worst. The worst.
So, I mean, obviously the government is in turmoil. Donald Trump and John McCain, I don't know if you're following politics or not. They're at each other. Obviously, John McCain is 81 years old with stage 4 brain cancer, and he's arguing with the president of the United States. That's pretty damn significant. Plus, everything we're going to hit today. And I have one thing I'm going to go in on, and I know I'm going to get trolled, but I'm going to do that at the end of the show so they can just light up my Twitter after we log off. We'll talk Chelsea Handler, a little Beyonce, more than once. Toni Braxton and Birdman, Master P, Colin Kaepernick, of course, Black China. And then I think significantly, there's a guy named LaDavid Johnson. And there's actually 3 other military personnel that were a part of his platoon, I believe. We got to talk about him. But what's being done to LaDavid Johnson, his life, the way that people are mistreating him, the way that the president acts like a fuckboy. Your dog is acting like a fuckboy. Maybe for those that don't know what a fuckboy is, like fuckboy is not. I'm not really cussing. That's a word. Like fuckboy is a word. It's a real word. So, like, people are fuckboys. Like, you can be a fuckboy. You can have a fuckboy demeanor. You can be, and I know, like, if you're saved and you're sitting here cringing every time I say fuckboy, but you probably married a fuckboy. Or your son's probably a fuckboy. Or they have fuckboy tendencies.
Everyone should know what that is at this point because you should have already seen Insecure.
Everyone doesn't watch Insecure.
That's a shame.
Only black millennials. You think white people are out here watching Insecure?
No.
I don't watch it either, but I'm kind of white sometimes.
Greg. Oh, God.
I've seen 2 episodes, but it's not my thing. That's all.
It's had 2 seasons and 20 episodes.
Oh, well, I've seen 2 episodes. That's all.
So What is your excuse?
I didn't get into it.
How?
I don't know. I don't want to watch a whore running around on TV. Like it wasn't my thing.
A whore?
Oh no.
I think what it was is it just didn't have enough sex for you yet.
Sex?
See, you can't just lie. You tried it though. You tried to lie. What you had tried to do was tell a lie, but you couldn't because you was like, "Oh, never mind. You're right. It wasn't enough sex. I didn't see no sex. There's plenty of sex, Greg.
I don't like watching sex on TV.
Do you like watching yourself have sex? Like, have you ever recorded yourself?
This is not the agenda for the evening.
Tiffany, have you recorded yourself?
What? We're not doing this.
That's a fair game.
Why do I always get asked sexual questions on air?
I asked him first.
The first one was somebody asked me, "Who's eating your booty?" What?
What?
I almost quit the show that day. I'm done. I'm done with radio. I'm done.
I don't understand why that would be an offensive question though. Like, it's real. Like, who's eating that booty? All up in it.
I didn't know him. You can't just call. No. Okay, let's go to our topics because I'm not doing this again. I'm not drinking thought juice. No.
Oh, you know what? I feel like Petey Pablo. Caller number 1.
No.
Who was subject number 1 that was all up in that ad? Hey.
Oh my God. I want to get through the heavy stuff first so that we can like lighten up the show.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't know which heavy topic to hit first. So let's just go ahead and talk about Sergeant David, because that hits, I think, 2 or 3 of the topics that are on this list. I guess I can move my list closer. I don't know the other 2 men that were in his platoon, but if you have not heard, Sergeant LaDavid Johnson is the fallen soldier that everyone has been talking about for the last couple of days. And Representative Frederica Wilson of Florida made a statement to the press that said, I'm sorry, I just cannot put president and 45 in the same sentence, that Trump said some disrespectful things to the wife and mother of this fallen soldier. Of course, y'all's president denied it and said he never said anything disrespectful and all of that. But the mother came out today and confirmed Rep. Wilson's reports of the disrespect and said, yes, he did in fact disrespect my son and his wife. Apparently, Trump said that he knew what he signed up for. This is what he told Sergeant Johnson's widow. He knew what he signed up for, but Trump denied the statement, saying, I had a very nice conversation with the woman, with the wife, who sounded like a wonderful woman. I didn't say what that congresswoman said. Didn't say it at all. She knows it. But Rep. Wilson said there were people.
Does he even know what she said? Like, I didn't say what that woman said. But why don't you say what the fuck you didn't say, you stupid ass? Like,
but
the
even these statements are demeaning.
What the hell is wrong with him?
I had a very nice conversation with the woman, with the wife. What?
Well,
do you even know their name?
This validates what Wilson said. Representative Wilson said that while she was listening to the call. First of all, let's run this back. If you missed it all, like what Tiff said, LaDavid Johnson and 3 men from his platoon, we don't know why they were not in a protected army. What are those things called? Humvee, those big ass.
Yeah. Armored
like he wasn't. They weren't in that. They were attacked. He was left. So the 3 of them were rescued. He was left in battle, in combat, in the ground for over 48 hours before his body was retrieved. Trump knew about this. And the only reason this has come to light is because people wanted to know why it's been 12 days and he hasn't called the family. So if you've been under a rock, 4 American soldiers were killed Donald Trump didn't call the family, and then when he got accused of not calling the family, he gets his bitch ass stands in front of the podium and says, you know, I've been the first president to ever call the families of fallen soldiers. Obama never did it, and all of the other presidents never did it. Bitch, how the hell do you know they didn't do that? How do you know? And then when they asked him, he was asked by a journalist, are you saying that no president has ever? He was like, oh, no, that's not what I said. Bitch, that's what you said. That's what I'm going to call him the whole show, bitch. I just want to call him bitch. Okay, so.
I don't call him anything.
So he said, I'm not sure that he didn't call. That's what I was told. Bitch, you got wrong information. So when he finally does call, he doesn't say the man's name because he couldn't remember it. He probably couldn't pronounce LaDavid. Bitch. And then he said, he kept saying to the wife, your guy. And then Representative Wilson overhears him say, well, you know, it is what he signed up for, but it still hurts. Bitch, you don't say that to a grieving widow. Like stating the obvious.
Who's pregnant? Who's pregnant?
She has 2 kids by this man, and she's 6 months pregnant, and she's 103 pounds, and your bitch ass. You know what? You keep going. I can't.
So one, I want to say kudos to Rep. Wilson for telling the truth and for answering the press's questions. So she was on The View earlier today, and she got attacked by Meghan McCain. But what Meghan said, you know, well, this was a private conversation, and why do you feel like you have the right to disclose what was discussed during a private conversation? And Representative Wilson basically said, first of all, there were other people in the car, so it wasn't a private conversation. He just probably was not smart enough to know that there were other people in the car.
There was plenty of people in the car.
Hella people. So she said she got out the car and the press was there and asking her questions. Now, if she were my representative, I would have wanted her to answer them as well. And if this ass clown of a president had handled the situation in a better fashion and was more respectful, then what she could have said was he was actually very respectful to the mother and to Sergeant Johnson's mom and his widow, his wife. But you weren't. You were an ass clown, as you always are an ass clown, and you were disrespectful. So she couldn't say those words. So, you know, thank you, Rep. Wilson, for telling the truth and making sure that it spreads.
And what y'all should know, Tiff, this is why. Especially, I'm not getting on Meghan McCain because she's white, and I'm not saying that all the white people. Nobody believes Donald Trump. Like, he was like, oh, she's lying, and I have proof. Bitch, if you had proof, you would have started with the proof. That's what people do when you have proof. But you lie constantly. That's all you do is lie. You lie all day long. You start tweeting at 4:30 a.m. I know because I'm awake. And they start talking about your tweets, and you're the biggest distraction that has ever hit America. But you lie constantly. Representative Wilson didn't lie, Greg, and let me tell you how I know that she didn't lie. First of all, there's so many reasons that we know that she didn't tell a lie. And what do you think the first reason is? It's not just that she's a black woman and I just believe her because she's black.
Well, first off, we know Donald Trump is a liar, so I mean that's number one.
Take a look at Frederica Wilson. Does this woman look like she lies?
She looks like she could have found Obama. I mean, not Obama, Osama.
Does she look like she lies? First of all, she said when she heard him say that bullshit, oh, this is what he signed up for, but it still hurts. She was in the limousine because they were on the way to get the body that had just been delivered. She said that I said, give me the phone. I need to talk to him. Listen. And the generals would not let her talk to him. And she said, I need to talk to him because I'm going to cuss him out.
Cuss him out.
And when she said that in the story, I can look at her and know that she was not lying.
Right.
She was going to cuss this bitch out.
Right.
he was about to get like he boy. He ain't nothing but a little bitch. I don't know why we still dealing with him in this country though. I feel like it's time for us to just do something else, bro. Like fuck. I'm trying to stop cussing. But as long as he's in office, I don't think that's gonna be a possibility. I just can't.
No.
Like, because when he first started, like he's so damn ugly. When I first started seeing him every day, it was like I developed Tourette's. And every time I would look over and see him on the TV, I'd be like, oh shit. Every single time.
You sound like Juanita Bynum.
On that note, transitioning, I heard some prayers with this family, man. I want to hug his wife. My prayers are with their family. I think it is absolutely atrocious the way that she was treated, the way that it's been done. Like, I just can't deal. I'm so upset about it. But our thoughts and prayers are with them, undoubtedly. It's just awful. It's awful.
And what's even worse is now she's being drugged into the media and into the spotlight, and she can't even grieve her husband. I mean, this is just, it's really dreadful. Really dreadful because of an ass clown.
Like, there's no training to become president, but after this, there's a couple of things we as a society need to believe in, okay? Stop telling these little losers, okay? Especially the ones that don't want to go to school. They don't want, like, listen, you know the traits of your child, your little badass child by 5th grade. If the bitch stops showing up to class and he's in 5th grade, you can't tell little Johnny that he can be anything. Little Johnny, everybody can't be the president. We tried that. We believed that for years. We had 44 years of anybody can be president. Now that we have 45, we need to get that out of our mouths. This generation, y'all are creating kids right now. Look at me. I'm talking to you. You're creating kids right now. Everybody can't be president. Stop telling your little dumbass kids that, especially because you made them dumbasses. Because you a dumbass. Don't do that.
Oh my God.
Don't do that. Everybody can't be president.
But the truth is, I don't think we will ever have a real president again. Honestly,
it's very likely.
I don't think
it's very likely. No, it's very likely that we won't. And at least the next 3 cycles, we will have celebrities running.
Right.
Amok,
it's going to be a circus.
Okay? It's going to be a hot ass mess. And let's deal with that. On that note, Tiff, you made an interesting point, and I just like to talk about cursing preachers for just a second. And we don't do a whole lot of sound here or anything like that, but you just listen to her.
That cursing thing is serious. It's no joke. That's why when I'm around people, they always curse, and I just gotta walk off sometime. And sometimes I just gotta not talk. I can't be around that. No, because that thing will hijack you. I know what I'm talking about. You walk around here and all of a sudden you drop something and go, oh shit. Oh my God, did I just say that? No, you just said that.
Yeah, Juanita, you just said that. But you know what, Juanita? Let me tell you something. Now, Juanita, come close to the camera. Let me tell you. Juanita, now, come on now. Now, I've been a preacher before. Tiff put me on blast on Monday and she told the world. So if you didn't know that, yeah, I sit here and cuss all night and all morning and all day. And I used to cuss. Hopefully I've never cussed in a sermon, but I didn't try. But I did cuss. I used to pastor young people, not children or anything, but people that was already grown. I probably cussed at all of them. I said, I cussed them out.
Every last one of us.
Especially my leaders, man. It was probably tough to be a leader under me. I remember, quick story, and then we'll talk about Juanita. I had one leader that was just acting like a little bitch. Not like what the derogatory term that some people call females. No, like a little bitch, like a dog, like a crying female dog. Why are you? And I was like, you are not going to continuously come in here and be a bitch. Everything, fuck that. And he was like, you can't cuss at me. Little bitch. And you have to do that sometimes because you have to get the point across. But as a former preacher and a former cussing preacher, Juanita, let me tell you something. Like, I need you to come back to the camp. I know you got comfortable again. Come back. This is for you. You said that so easily. I know that you cuss all the time. Okay, because it came out. There's a cadence that goes with cussing. You know what I'm saying? And people that cuss a lot know how to say
it. It's natural.
Like,
it's natural.
If you don't cuss a lot, it doesn't come out naturally.
You sound weird.
When you cuss a lot, you put the wrong words together. Like, everything ass can go after certain words. Bitch ass, fake ass, weak ass, dumb ass, broke ass. I can say that and I can get my point across, but I can't just say, broke damn. Well, that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That doesn't make sense. You broke damn hoe. All right. No, broke asshole. That's more appropriate. I cuss a lot. Juanita, you said that cussing spirit gets on you, and sometimes you just be like, oh shit, you didn't mean to say it, but it came out because that's what you do all the time. Now, there's some people that think your holiness has been tested, Juanita. They think you can't be holy. They think you can't be right. I think you ain't right because you called yourself Juanita Bynum II, and you also had a revival in a tent, and you sped off in a toy car. Like, you literally walked away. And I don't know if one of your elders told you that the check didn't clear or they wasn't taking an offering tonight. I don't really know why you walked off like that, Juanita. But you did do that. You just walked off. And you can't just and also so you called yourself Juanita Bynum II. You said you told everybody you was back and you became Juanita Bynum II. Girl, I don't know no girl the second. That makes me think that you're a young man. But
right.
Then you drove off in this toy car. But I also cannot let it go that you typed in tongues on Facebook. Now, people already think
this is too much.
No, I'm seriously. People already think that tongue-talking Christians are crazy. But you gonna sit and interpret. You can't even speak. You don't only speak tongues. You interpret them. And then you type them on Facebook. Juanita, come on now. Come on. That's why people think you crazy. And you just got 8 degrees and tried to charge people $750 to come have dinner with you for a celebration. That's what makes me think that you fucked up, girl. Fuck your cussing. I don't care about that. And, and really, let this be a word to all of you. Some of you know there's weird people out there that just desire to be preachers. That's a calling. That's something that you need to be called to. Like, you need to be called into pastoring people and doing that. Just because you can yell good and do all that hollering and you just, no more. Like, Juanita, come on now. Like, come on. We're sick of that. There's now a generation that's not receiving anything like that. You rebuke me like that, and I'll say, bitch, get out my face. You better learn how to talk to somebody. And I've been telling preachers that too. And I say, my uncles, I come from a whole lineage of, I'm a PK, a P nephew. I am a P grandson. Like, I'm just a P kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's Juanita. We can get off that because that's some bullshit. Like, come on. Like, why was she cussing like that?
I'm sorry.
And
you reminded me of her speeding off in that car just about to.
That was funny.
Because she literally stopped. Like, ma'am, did you even finish your sentence? Like, you just dropped the microphone and
she threw her hands up and she was
threw her hands up and walked away and sped off while the people are still standing there.
I'm over this. Over this.
I just cannot. And speaking of church people and church rules and things of that nature, there was a neo-Nazi who decided to come out as gay.
Let's talk about this, okay?
I saw you almost spit out your thought juice.
I did, because first of all, neo-Nazi.
Correct.
Okay? That means like you are the new Nazi, right?
Correct.
So y'all hear that term thrown around. This man is a neo-Nazi. That means, the Nazis killed Jews.
Right.
That was their whole purpose. That's what Hitler thought. Hitler thought they were horrible people. Nazis killed Jews. So you are a new Nazi, a new Jew killer, and a racist, and a white purist because you think only white is right.
Well, apparently he thinks only white ass is right.
Come on with the story, Tiff. Now, come on with the story. Now, what happened? Now, what's
This Neo? First of all, I have to read the headline because when I saw the headline, it made me say, "Wait a minute. Now what? Neo-Nazi quits movement, coming gay, revealing he's Jewish."
That's all fucked up.
Like, that's a whole lot. You were a neo-Nazi, or as Alex just said, new Nazi. You quit the Nazi movement, came out as gay, and revealed you were Jewish. Now, if you look at the picture, I don't know if you have a picture in that that you can share, Alex, but when you look at the picture on the left, he does look like he could be one of Cam's friends on Modern Family. This one on the right, he looks like that character
I'm gonna pull him up.
Rabbit.
I don't have anything prepped, but I'm gonna pull it up just for the sake of us talking about him and discussing like. So you're telling me, like, I want you to finish the story, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm interpreting this because I really think that this is all just pretty horrible.
Kevin Wilshaw, a prominent neo-Nazi,
That's
and
him. Y'all taking a look. Take a good look
National
at it.
Front organizer, has come out as gay and revealed his Jewish heritage while renouncing his far-right extremism. And then there's a picture of him from March of 2016, getting ready for Hitler's birthday. He's 58 years old. He has spent his entire 58 years.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this man is 58.
That is correct.
He looks a good 77.
The Crypt
He's
Keeper.
58.
That nigga look old.
Well, I've never heard anyone say white don't crack. In all of his
never has it been said.
Never. In all of his 58 years, he's been promoting white supremacy, and he was a leader in the National Front group in the 80s. Spoke at events, did all of that good stuff. He's renounced all of that, all 58 years of his life. He's now renounced and said, you know what?
I'm not processing the 58 though.
Well, he's 58.
He literally looks like he has great grandchildren.
I can't. He said he joined the movement because he didn't have many friends at school and was looking for camaraderie and to be a member of a group of people that had an aim.
You said at school?
Killing Jews and black people?
Wait.
Yep.
What type of aim is that?
He also joined the British National Party at the age of 18 after a small stint with the National Front, and also dabbled a little bit with some violent fringe groups such as the Racial Volunteer Force. So he did all of this because he didn't have no friends and he wanted to belong.
Why didn't he just go join a gay club or something? I don't know. I'm confused.
He's 58.
I don't know. That's ridiculous.
Y'all don't have nothing else to say about this man?
I mean, I'm looking at the story. First off, he looks 100 years old. I can't imagine nobody being that old and gay. That's nasty. I'm just saying, like. Ooh.
So, what are you saying about all gay people that get old one day, Greg?
I think that at a certain point, you need to turn your gayness off and just do like Danny McClurkin.
I disagree because Kyle Barker from Living Single is a great older gay.
But listen, be like Danny McClurkin. When you get old, just stand.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so can we analyze this real quick? Because I want to talk about like what gives me pause about this. All right, you know, he's been in the closet all these years. Let me make it a little bigger.
It's big enough. Trust me, it's big enough.
Shit. Oh shit! Looking at that, don't you just be like, oh shit? Like
he
this is the type of person.
I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie. But you know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of my favorite older movies. He looks like that character that tried to kill Roger Rabbit at the end of that movie.
He honestly looks like somebody that's in pain. Okay, So you're telling me that all 180 years of that, he's now
Did you
on
say 180?
he's now on websites like Tinder and Christian Mingle on here because he's on here trying to
Christian Mingle?
find his lover, and you know what I'm saying. And is there a thing like dads for dads or something like that?
What?
That's nasty. I'm sorry.
He cannot be on Christian Mingle. I'm going to send you this picture, Alex, and I want you to present it.
First of all, why not? He's definitely a Christian if he's a Nazi. What do you think all these white supremacists are?
This is all terrible. All terrible.
So you're saying that this man looks like Roger Rabbit like this?
He looks like the character from Roger Rabbit. That was a villain in the Roger Rabbit movie.
Tiff, grow up, okay? I want you to grow up.
I want you to show it.
I'm going to show it, but you need to grow up.
I beg to differ.
I am done. Going to sleep.
Well, no. Lie. Okay, no, I'm not. There is no lie, and you're actually right. That brings me to this next thing. Okay, now getting into this one this gave me pause because some people call me a fattest, and I didn't even know. I had a host, one of my old co-hosts, called me that back in the day. Like we were doing the show like back in 2008, and she was like, "You're a fattest," and I'm like, I don't know what that is. But I mean, I probably am. I do have a phobia of fat people, but it's only because I didn't really understand it. And I have to explain it to this audience because if you listen to me in the morning, you've heard this before. You've heard me explain this. I've gotten hate mail. You can go to the shakeupshow.com and just type in Alex hate mail, and you can read some of the hate mail I've gotten, especially from fat people that don't. Like, first of all, I want you to be healthy. So that's first of all. So before you start getting mad at me, don't be mad because you can't push that plate away. But that's not even what I'm talking about.
You're so
I feel like, no, I'm not disrespectful. I feel like this. Do you not feel cheated? That in health class, we learned about all of this stuff growing up. We learned about the body. But they never showed us a fat body. So I always thought fat people had body parts or pieces on their body that didn't have a name, and I didn't really know what they were. Because I'm like, okay, you have this extra roll that kind of flips over above your waistline, and that has to be called something. It can't just be called a roll. I didn't really know that. And then I used to see this extra, like you would see fat people in jeans, and they have like extra sections in their jeans that my jeans didn't have. So I'm like, whoa, look at all of these crevices, and it's not really a design. And so I used to wonder, like, does it have a special name? So I just used to ask these type of questions. And then I used to have this terrible dream that a fat person was sleeping with me and just smothered me and I died. Now, people used to always tell me that's far-fetched. Like, okay, nobody's dying because somebody's fat and they smothered you. Okay, that's what people say. But
that was a terrible introduction to this story.
Okay. Child dies after 325-pound cousin sits on her as a blanket.
That's not funny. Why are we talking about this? It's too much. This is too much. What?
No, it's going to be too much when you see her 325 ass, and she decided that she was going to sit on her 9-year-old cousin. Look at her. God damn. Well, how rude can you be?
But she did it as punishment. What?
I mean, the punishment was you walking towards her. She's 9 and 50 pounds. She was probably terrified. Like, boulder, danger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of like you standing at the bottom of a cliff and there's a rock slide. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
What is wrong with you?
Not only did she not just stop breathing, this little girl went into cardiac arrest.
That is so sad.
No, it's horrible. Horrible.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
So, A lot of y'all got fat family members. Maybe you have a fat spouse. Your spouse gets mad. Do not let him or her discipline your children. They get upset. You don't know what they do when you go to work. You took your ass to work and your fat ass husband sat on your daughter. Now she died.
I'm going to hell. You are a terrible person.
He really is.
You are terrible. I feel horrible that I'm laughing right now because this is a tragic story. Like, this is horrible.
I really think that this could have been prevented. And that means that you, just like you're cautious about predators and sexual predators and all of that being around your children, when somebody is angry and they're upset and they haven't eaten and they're already overweight and they look around and see your child, they may not eat your child. They may not eat your child. That your child may not be what they want. Out somewhere and they need to sit down on your child, and then that's it. The child has no more life.
I think that is completely fucked up. You shouldn't ever sit on a child as punishment, whether you're fat, skinny, or whatever. And then again, you shouldn't be 325
I'm sorry, Greg.
pounds.
No, you're not gonna do this. Skinny people aren't out here killing children because they sat on them. You can't pull skinny people in that. You should never sit on a child. This is not no
one should be sitting on children.
You shouldn't sit on a child, but I'm just trying to bring a little balance to the situation. You should be 325 pounds, and you just should not sit on children.
Wait. Did you have to start? Maybe she has a condition that causes her to be overweight, or she can't lose the weight that she has gained.
325 pounds. Like, people have conditions, and maybe you're 210, but your ass ain't gonna be no damn 325 pounds.
And this is what I say all the time. Exactly. That's more than a condition. And people like, and this girl, I mean, people say, okay, it's hereditary. Fine. Birth control did this to me. Okay, I know the birth control does make you gain weight. It makes you gain
not the 325.
But it may make you gain weight, but also eating at Applebee's for $4 appetizers, half off appetizers, and then going over to Chili's because you want 7 margaritas, and then a side of nachos, 4 quesadillas, a fajita plate, and some nachos, and then you go to Chipotle and then stop by the
no one's eating all of that.
Yes, they are.
Yes, people do.
That's how you get to 325 pounds. That's how you get there. No, you don't get to $325 taking medication. You don't get to 325 pounds because you had a big mama. We all had big mama.
It is not. I refuse to believe that someone eats that much food. Like, that's just not. I mean, I may be the wrong person because my best friend tells me I eat like a bird, but I don't know. I can never finish one meal.
I'm sorry. I'm really not going to do this argument. I'm not arguing with anybody that's 325 pounds. First of all, because I like my life I want to live. Second of all, you don't get 325 pounds by no. So
I don't see how that's humanly possible to eat that much food. I'm sorry. But again, I'm that person that will put away half a meal and have to eat it the next day.
It shouldn't be 300, and it shouldn't be possible to be physically 325 pounds.
I watch my 600-pound life, and those people are 700, 625, 540.
You know what's acceptable to be 325 pounds in my book? Shaquille O'Neal. He's 7 feet tall. He should be about 325, 400 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole lot of mass. He's a massive person. I've seen him multiple times. That is a massive person. Don't breathe my air, sir. He's up there. There's a whole bunch of oxygen up there for you. Way up there. I'm down here. Don't come down here. Don't talk to me. Don't breathe my air. No.
Really?
325 pounds. You sat on a 9-year-old. You deserve to go to jail. Goodbye. And she looking sad, like she hungry in the picture, girl in the mugshot. Going somewhere.
I'm moving on. So Birdman and Toni Braxton, married or not?
No.
Greg? Gregory, what you think? You think they're married or not?
So I just missed like the last minute of this conversation.
And your screen is blank.
She started talking about Birdman and Toni Braxton. Tamar has said that they was married, and then a report came out yesterday that they was married, and it turns out they're not married. Allegedly.
I actually saw it while I was watching The Wobsters, which was a piss poor excuse of a televised wedding.
I was really hoping that.
Yeah, I didn't waste my time on that.
I was gonna hope that didn't make it into even an honorable mention.
Well, that's when I happened to see the Birdman and Toni Braxton announcement.
I don't even think they should be dating each other. I think that's weird and awkward, to be honest.
Well, I feel like their chemistry is good. I don't really watch the Braxtons because they kind of stress me out, and I love Toni. Evelyn works my nerves. I love Tamar singing, but hearing Tamar talk just makes me nah.
I don't want to hear Tamar sing live. Like, I just want her to retire just from everything. I don't want to see her on TV. I don't want to hear her sing.
I actually like Tamar and Vince.
You said that's disrespectful.
It is kind of disrespectful. Evelyn calls Vince Vin. Vin. How's Vin?
He looked like he need a VIN number.
Right. He's lost a lot of weight, actually.
Okay. Greg, I'm going to pretend like that was nice of you, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. That was hella shady. I mean, full of palm trees.
I wasn't trying to be...
trees. I like Tamar and Vince. Tamar said that Birdman was, like a brother-in-law when Miss Evelyn was in the hospital.
Listen, they said that Birdman has been holding it down, and if Toni likes getting digged down by the bird, let her do what she want to do.
Yeah, that's so nasty. That's gross. I'm sorry. That's nasty.
What is nasty about sex? People have it. That's how you
sex is not nasty. Those two have it. I mean, Birdman, that's nasty. That's nasty. Sorry.
This is how you got here, bro. Okay.
I understand. Sex is.
Two people had sex.
Yeah,
there's
but
all
neither
types
one
of
of
people
those
out here having sex. Like, there's all. I mean, it happens.
Some people shouldn't have sex.
Just because.
Let the church tell it. Sex should only be within the confines of marriage, anyway. Now I don't subscribe to that belief anymore, but
I was about to say I almost disconnected you.
Just saying, that's what the church says.
They say that, and they be
doing it in the back of the church.
Listen. That will spit up a whole other conversation. We're not going there. So Chelsea Handler is quitting her show on Netflix, or Netflix canceled it. It depends on which article you read. Either way, there will be no more Chelsea Handler show on Netflix. They're actually going to switch it up and do some type of documentary as they follow her grassroots stuff that she wants to try and do.
About Chelsea.
Now, I like the Chelsea Handler show that's been on Netflix. I like the interviews and the dinner parties and the stuff that she's been doing. But you can tell that she's...
If I'm being honest, I like the show too. I do. I like Chelsea Handler. I like what she brings. I like her. I do. I'm sick of her doing this stuff.
I know that you are.
And I feel like you should. I feel like you should do what you want to do. When I get tired of doing this, what you think I'm gonna do?
Stop. Bye. Stand.
Bye. Well, no.
You can tell though that she's really, really bothered by that man in the White House right now. Excuse me, I'm tired. She's really bothered by him, and she's really bothered by him. So I from the article that I read, she basically said she wants to focus more on her grassroots efforts and kind of use her national platform, but on a local and community level instead of, doing the show every day and all of that. So I get it. hate that the show, and again, it depends on which article you read. Some articles say the show was canceled. Some articles say she was leaving. I don't know if it was, a mutually agreed upon decision. But this is the first talk show that's been canceled on Netflix. Had a 2-season run. And her statement was, like so many across the country, the past presidential election and the countless events that have unfolded since have galvanized me. From the national level down to the grassroots, it's clear our decisions at the ballot box next year will mark a defining moment for our nation. For these reasons, I've decided not to return for another season of Chelsea and instead devote as much time as I can to becoming a more knowledgeable and engaged citizen and to focus on projects that have significance to me. I don't feel like reading the rest of that statement, but that that's part of her statement. I get it. I mean, being in the city of Atlanta right now, I want to do everything in my power to make sure Mary Norwood is not become the mayor of Atlanta.
But when she does, I'm disconnecting. Y'all about to be, she about to put niggas in concentration camps.
I will move again. She cannot win. There's a couple other, the 7 that are running for mayor in this city that I don't want them to win either. But, I feel like that's my job we're going to her next. I saw that. I feel like that's my job to get out here and share with the folks the knowledge. Why would you put that up?
Because, first of all, we're running out of time. And second of all, Melania has a decoy.
Melania has left.
or they did something to Melania.
I think she left.
Where is Melania?
She's tired of the bullshit just like we are.
You think so, Greg? What the hell happened to
She's tired of...
I don't know.
She's tired of having
Can you turn it back on?
It's on.
Turn it off and turn it back on. Because it ain't on.
I think Melania... I think she got tired of having to tap him and hit him and tell him, put your hand across your chest and fool, we praying, put your head down.
And you know what? Like Melania was trying to act like Rasputia was acting in Norbit. She was like, Birdman. But in essence, Donald Trump is actually Rasputia.
Oh my God.
And Melania is Norbit. So it's not working that she's hitting him. Birdman.
I don't.
On that note, Donald Trump held a press conference this week. We don't have the audio, so I can't play it for you. But basically, nobody would have even noticed because this woman was wearing a Melania wig and the Melania glasses. She probably had stolen glasses from Melania. And she put these damn glasses on. But if Donald Trump had not said, me and my wife, Melania, who happens to be standing right here, who says that? Of course she's
awkward behind.
Of course she's standing right here. Who else would be standing next to you? My wife, Melania, who happens to be here with me right now. And there was a lady that was watching it, and she zoomed in. She said, wait a minute, who the hell is that?
That's not Melania.
Absolutely not.
It looks like Caitlyn Jenner.
These are these are normal white. This is actually white woman, white man lips. This is enhanced and then shrunken down and then pulled out. And this has lip gloss. This face over here. This is tightened white woman face. Okay. Now Melania is wherever she's from, Slovenia, Slovakia, one of them. But this is what happens when you pull that skin. She's pulled it back. This skin has freckles and it's been in the sun, and they put makeup over it.
Look at that nose.
And then this nose. This is a fake nose. And then what is this?
I think the nose is attached to the glasses.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And this wig right here. And it actually does look like Caitlyn Jenner. It's like all she has to say is on Hills today. Hey, it's Caitlyn. Hey, Donald. It's Caitlyn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah. So
Caitlyn
where
Jenner.
the question, where the hell is Melania?
She probably
Probably in
going back to her home
Slovakia.
country.
I'm
Yeah.
like, she's probably in Slovakia.
Or is she dead?
I don't think she's dead.
You know, I thought about that earlier today. They probably killed her ass.
Yeah, she could be dead. Yeah,
I don't think she's dead.
but you don't know.
I don't know, but I don't think she's dead. But I do know that that ain't her.
When's the last time we seen her? You don't know that either, huh? Well, Greg.
Was she with
Bye.
him in Puerto Rico? Yeah, in Puerto Rico.
Bye, Greg.
Dang.
Allegedly.
No, she was in Puerto Rico because she had on her flood heels.
Oh yeah, she came disaster Barbie. I
Yeah.
remember.
So I think that was probably the last time we saw her. That's a dang shame. That's a dang shame.
Okay.
That's a shame. So we have 5 minutes left. We did not talk about Colin on Monday, so I want to make sure we at
We
least
actually
mention
have
the fact.
we got an extra 3 to that because we were late.
Okay. We did not mention Colin on Monday filing a grievance, and now it seems he has some support for him to start his own football league. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm taking a knee this year on the NFL. I actually haven't watched. I stayed towards with my commitment. I absolutely know if you know anything about me, I played football till I couldn't no more because I was short and my brother was not, and there's no way I wasn't gonna play on the varsity team with my kid brother, so I wasn't gonna do that. Um, and I'm still short now, so nothing has changed. Um, and I love the San Francisco 49ers I have since birth. But I rock with the Atlanta Falcons because forever I love Atlanta. And
Forever, I love Atlanta.
people in Atlanta don't have no team, no sports pride for any team. But for those of us that grew up there, even if I'm not considered a transplant because I was there way before I was grown. I was there. I grew up in Atlanta, so forever I love Atlanta.
Amen.
My Falcons can't finish, unfortunately. But this season, unless the Falcons somehow make it to the Super Bowl, the NFL's not getting my ratings.
I'm with you.
I'm not doing it. I can do something else. I can try to make me some extra money instead of watching that bullshit. So no.
Well, and I also do college sports. So I've been watching college sports just because I don't know that I can go all season without watching something. So I have been watching college sports. But I have not been watching. I haven't been watching my Falcons. Goodell made another statement today that all players should stand during the national anthem, but they're not going to do anything to force them or to enforce it in a policy or anything like that.
Right, because what they know is the ratings, first of all, are not low because black people don't want to die. So. First of all, they also know that a few people not watching. First of all, the Super Bowl. I didn't hear about Super Bowl commercials going on discount. There's obviously not that much of a problem. Like, people are always football is America's pastime. People are gonna watch a whole bunch of people running around that live in the bush with shotguns. Sorry that you're upset that your president made up some reason for y'all not to watch. Be mad at him. It has nothing to do with us. So when it comes down to it, I can't. I just can't. I've never really been a college football person. Of course, I lived in a heavy rivalry, and then I just can't. What I'm not doing is supporting this bullshit and the notion that because if you did enforce that, you know what would happen? They really wouldn't show up to the game, and you would really lose money.
Right.
Because what you're not gonna do, like let me tell you how this feels as a black man when you're like, shut up, you can't have an opinion, just play, boy.
What?
Just play, boy. I need you out there to own the field, boy. That's what it feels like when you tell me, oh, you can't have an opinion. Don't bring your politics onto the field, boy. Get out there and run that ball, boy. Run that ball, boy. Mm-mm. So when you do that, if you say, oh, all NFL players must stand, you just bought us. I don't give a damn what $1 million. Black men, at a certain point, you may have one or two that's like, okay, I got to get this check. The rest of them are going to be like, bruh, I'm going to go stay with my baby mama. I'm out. No one's doing that.
Yeah, at a certain point, you know, I'm a Black female, so I've always been told you can only push a Black man so far before that Black man pushes back. And if they decide that they do want to do anything or say anything to try and enforce this policy, ain't no football games, bitch.
Just yes, like, very, very similar to the Black woman. Black men warn you with the look first.
Hello.
One thing about us that's in the African American Museum is
we have our facial expressions.
Gestures of dismissal. See, when you see us, and they know what this means. I never really seen a look on a white person's face that moved me. I'm like, what are you looking at?
Right. Are you okay?
Where are your lips?
I cannot.
I want to say that you pursed your lips, but what lips?
But us Black people, oh, if looks could kill. If a Black woman gives you this look.
If a Black person gives you a squint, or you see these big ass lips right here? The further back it gets, the older we are, but it's still the same.
And they all mean something different with every little motion of the lips and the eyebrows and we all know how to read each other's faces. So sorry if you don't know how to read our faces.
Oh, sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry.
All right, this has been fun.
It has. My bed is calling my name.
We're out of time. I'm gonna collapse.
Well, I'm changing my sheets first, but
it's still gonna be good in the morning. I feel like I can just finish it off.
I'm not the right person to ask at all.
I'm gonna stop showing this until Bud writes me a check.
Holla. It's my homecoming, so I got to get my good rest while I can. So this Black girl magic turns up this weekend.
Well, my parents are coming to town.
I'm so sorry.
God, I'm not sorry.
So sorry. I mean, tell them I said hello. Aww. Tell Mom and Pops I said hello. Don't FaceTime me with them present, because I know you.
They know you smoke weed.
I'm not smoking weed this weekend. What you talking about? I will be drinking. I will have multiple red cups in my hand. Multiple. Actually, I'm gonna have that backpack that you put the liquor in.
When they get here on Friday, I'm gonna be like, "What up? Y'all thirsty?"
They should be used to both of us by now. So,
all right. How do they get in touch with you, Tiff?
You can get in touch with me at Tiff Linnell everywhere: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, FaceTime. Not FaceTime. Don't FaceTime me. Facebook.
I was about to say, are you bold? I wish somebody would FaceTime me talking about, hey, Alex the Great.
No.
Excuse you?
Excuse me? No. Facebook and tifflinnell.com. 1 and 2 L's. How did they get in touch with you?
Alex the Great. I'm Alex Unmuted on everything. Twitter, Instagram, and .com. Remember, tonight is greater. Believe it, speak it, and live it. You have to make the choice to be great. Your situation is not your destination. Instead, make it your motivation. We are back here for the ShakeUP next Monday, the Shake Up Morning Show, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Namaste.